Why does coffee make us feel so happy? We all have an assortment of motivations to get up cheerful each morning. Furthermore, for espresso darlings, there is just one explanation: some solid fragrant espresso. Indeed. The very idea of espresso can in a split second do something amazing for a significant number of us. Its natural fragrance and solid flavor truly does something amazing and elevating. We all have an assortment of motivations to get up glad each morning. What's more, for espresso darlings, there is just one explanation: some solid fragrant espresso. Indeed. The very idea of espresso can in a split second do something amazing for a significant number of us. Its hearty fragrance and solid flavor truly does some incredible things in inspiring our dispositions and gifting us the moment bliss. What's more, this isn't only a conviction. It's an encounter for a considerable lot of us. What is the mystery that causes us to desire for some espresso when we are pitiful, alone, or needing some smart thought? You think there is some mystery behind this? Truly, there is? Also, another uplifting news: the mystery behind why espresso can help our bliss levels is logically demonstrated. As you push forward in this article, you will know the science-based motivation behind why espresso causes us to feel so glad. You can't accepting satisfaction, yet you can purchase espresso, and that is truly close. The science behind why espresso fulfills us: espresso is a rich store of numerous synthetic compounds that assume a significant function in keeping up our general well-being. Some espresso has 2-ethylphenol, a synthetic that keeps us dynamic and alarm. 3,5-decafeylquinic corrosive, a part answerable for shielding us from neuron harm. Trigonelline, a type of nutrient B3 that battles with the hole-causing microorganisms in our mouth. Niacin, nutrient B3, which is cell-reviving and forestalls dementia. All things considered, these are the segments that, as should be obvious, are giving numerous medical advantages. So what's to with espresso and bliss? The sentiment of satisfaction and espresso has a little foundation story. Here we go. At the point when you drink espresso, it mirrors a neurochemical called adenosine. This is a synthetic that causes us to feel lethargic and turns us down when we are drained. At the point when caffeine enters your body, it works with the receptors that identify adenosine and squares them from playing out their normal capacity. As it were, the point at which you take espresso, the caffeine meddles with adenosine, the rest-causing synthetic receptors, and keeps you from getting rest. This is the manner by which you remain ready when you take espresso. Alright, what's straight away? At the point when the adenosine receptors are hindered, your body has no other decision except for to deliver its own energizers, dopamine and glutamate, the two synthetic substances liable for a vibe-decent encounter for individuals. That is to say, some espresso causes you to feel glad, since espresso animates synapses in our mind, which are generally delivered distinctly in specific situations. Consequently, your some espresso is the best driver to launch the creation of synapses in your cerebrum. Do you know, you can likewise invigorate the arrival of dopamine by utilizing medications, for example, cocaine. In any case, indeed, we do recognize what occurs next lawfully. Along these lines, to animate your own joy in a most wonderful manner, what else is the most ideal decision than to taste that hot espresso? Presently, do you accept that our joy lies in our grasp? It sure does, right? A point that you need to recall here is an espresso can give you joy when you savor its limits. Past a specific restriction of everyday measurement of caffeine, your body creates caffeine opposition and you no longer experience a similar euphoric inclination. It's acceptable as far as possible for everything. We can't concur any longer. I don't have the foggiest idea how individuals live without espresso. I truly don't. Martha Quinn: Great advantages of espresso utilization. Other than fulfilling you, espresso can offer a wide scope of astounding medical advantages, inferable from the synthetics and segments that we have seen a few seconds ago. A mother lode of cell reinforcements indeed. Espresso is probably the most extravagant wellspring of cell reinforcements that are sufficiently proficient to forestall well-being dangers, for example, malignancy and heart sicknesses. Truth be told, it is the top wellspring of cancer prevention agents for Americans, contrasted with all different constituents of their eating routine. You should take note of that the degree of cancer prevention agents fluctuates with caffeine content. For example, unadulterated dark espresso contains the most elevated level of cancer prevention agents, contrasted with the decaf form. Ensures neurons and sensory system. Caffeine is a demonstrated psychostimulant, and its cell reinforcement, calming and hostile to apoptotic properties, demonstrated successful in battling Alzheimer's malady, promotion. Specialists likewise discovered comparative impacts of caffeine in battling Parkinson's illness, PD, in men. It has additionally been set up that caffeine is defensive to your cerebrum and makes it versatile to stress, maturing, and neurological infections. Successful upper caffeine is an enemy of sadness. Also, investigates have affirmed that standard utilization of espresso, inside recommended limits, can help in controlling the danger of psychological maladjustments. It implies your cup of joe can be your closest companion in forestalling mind irritation because of the ton of cancer prevention agents stacked in it. Keeps you alert. This is one of the impacts we all has encountered, indeed, the motivation behind why a significant number of us have fallen in head over heels with espresso. The second we taste hot espresso we feel stimulated, ready and dynamic. Why? This is on the grounds that caffeine animates your sensory system, keeps you ready and dynamic, and that sentiment of sluggishness and languor is totally gone when you taste espresso. So making arrangements for a night out because of hefty outstanding task at hand, say cheers to some hot espresso. Cuts off self-destructive contemplations as we have seen espresso satisfies us. In any case, pause, its enchantment doesn't end there. As indicated by an examination led by the Harvard School of General Wellbeing, customary consumers of espresso had lesser musings identified with self-destruction and despondency. These outcomes were similarly compelling in people. Scientists property these outcomes to the energizer properties of caffeine. They likewise saw that individuals become more joyful and grown more certain speculation on ordinary utilization of espresso. Tips about espresso utilization, folks. At this point we have seen how espresso keeps us glad and solid. Pause, we have something more to know as well. The advantages that one accomplishes from espresso change with the sort of the bean, its broiling cycle, and different elements. How about we look at them rapidly here? Gently cooked beans have higher caffeine content than dull simmered beans. So next time you get a cup of joe, see whether your bean has been simmered light or dim. The best and ideal opportunity to drink espresso is from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., expecting you get up at 6 a.m. Drinking espresso at different occasions will meddle in your rest designs. On the off chance that you are an exercise center darling, here's a bit of uplifting news for you. Caffeine helps your quality preparing results gave you drink some espresso an hour prior to you start your exercise center meeting. Of the apparent multitude of variations of the espresso out there, we recommend hot dark espresso without any added substances, sugar, syrup, cream or milk to accomplish most extreme advantages from caffeine. Rather than the common misconception, decaf espresso additionally contains a specific measure of caffeine. Keep this in your psyche on the off chance that you are caffeine hypersensitive before you go snatch the following cup of decaf espresso. All the advantages of espresso are gotten best just when you savor it a restricted part. Past a specific breaking point, your body may create caffeine obstruction and you don't feel that kick of espresso. So folks, upbeat tasting writer bio. Donna Jones is a publicist and substance author who has practical experience in building on the web networks, email advertising efforts, and deals pages. Donna centers around helping individuals to see how to more readily drive traffic, create connections and gain income on the web. Her compassing ability